Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanished Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanas. This is episode 329, season 14. Today's date is May 14th, 2024, and welcome to the show. On today's program, I will talk about the 60th anniversary of the debut of the daytime soap opera Another World. Also, I'll talk about the 60th anniversary of the Zayre store that opened on South Columbus Avenue in Chicago on the southwest side. And also I'll talk about the news reporter Rick Sallinger that passed away recently and some other things. So, yes, I am back after a 2-week hiatus, and I'm very excited. I think I had podcast withdrawal. So I'm glad to be back. I really am. Before we get started, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Doan's Pills. I remember this product. And I have used it. And so sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the program, folks. And this commercial is from 1977. Okay, so I'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
Morning, Tom. Morning. Pounding that pavement yesterday sure got me, George. This nagging backache ruined my sleep.
Here, start taking these this morning.
Doan's pills?
They sure help me.
When nagging backache due to overexertion or everyday stress and strain comes on, Doan's pain-relieving action often brings temporary relief and lets you get a good night's sleep.
How's the back, Tom?
Good.
Oh, great.
Try Doan's pills for relief of nagging backache.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Doan's Pills. This product is still around. Used to be heavily advertised in the 70s and 80s. It is used for backache relief. If you have a backache. There's a story about this. One time I was shoveling snow, and there was some ice in front of the driveway, and I stupidly picked it up, and I got a bad backache. Oh, it was terrible. So I couldn't get up. I had to lie down, and it was hurtful. So I stretched I stretched my back. So anyway, my mom recommended, why don't you get some Doan's Pills? So she went to the store and got me some, and I took it, and I took some. It really worked. It really did. I felt much better. I'm very careful now because I'm 60 years old and I don't want to lift heavy stuff. I'll be, slowly as we age. So, don't want to be macho or show off, like that. So anyway, that product's still around, but they have other There are other products that deal with back pain. Of course, Tylenol and stuff like that. So anyway, it's good to know. I remember the commercials from the 70s when I was growing up, and they used to come in a green bottle, and now they're like in tablets. You push them out like that, like most medicine. Okay, enough of that. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about quite a few topics. I'm going to talk about the 60th anniversary of the debut of the daytime soap opera Another World, also the 60th anniversary of the Zayre store on South Columbus Avenue in Chicago, and also news reporter Rick Sallinger. I'll explain why I chose him. There's a reason. He passed away, so you'll understand. Anyway, 2 things I want to mention. One is my health. Last week, I had surgery to remove a bladder stone and have scar tissue stretched around my prostate area. It went well. The scar tissue, that's for the 3rd time. the doctor says 70% of prostate cancer patients deal with this thing, but it's not as bad as the previous two. So that went well. The Blackstone, from what he described, I'm going to blast it like a laser. It sounds like an old science fiction TV show or in the movie, zzz, like that. And it went okay, and they had to attach a catheter. I despise that. Oh, God. And I had to wear it for a week, longer, a long time. And I was doing all right. Didn't sleep well enough. I slept on the couch at times and just dozed off. Anyway, so yesterday on Monday, on the 13th of May, I went in to have it removed, the catheter, that is, and I hate that. That is painful. But, the nurse practitioner told me, just think of something, get something in your mind. And I did. You know what I thought about? Van Chicagoland or my family or something pleasant, like a big piece of chocolate cake. It worked. And she removed it. And she says, she mentioned that there is bladder stone residue in the tube. So she recommended I drink a lot of water. When you go pee, get it all out, and you'll be okay in a couple of days. Drink it for one day, drink like a lot. So I drink like one bottle of water, maybe another one. If I have constipation, I'll take some Miralax, not Mylanta. I told my brother to get Mylanta. That was a mistake. Sorry. Anyway, that helped a little. Yeah, it did. So, let's see. So, I'm doing okay so far. I feel better. Not going to the bathroom a lot. And so I can resume my duties at home, do work around the house, what has to be done, do my errands, concentrate on my account, do my podcast, and go places. And I regretted not going to church on Sunday. It's Mother's Day with my mom and my brother because I can't. I had a catheter. Well, I could use the portable one. You tape it on the leg, but no, it's too much trouble. And I don't want people staring at this thing. It's disgusting. So I stayed home. But we had a nice Mother's Day. Anyway, all right. So next up, I will have an appointment. The next urologist appointment is August 6th. Okay. The next appointment I have with my oncologist is May 22nd. That's next Thursday. We'll see about how well the radiation did. I don't know if I have to take a blood test prior to that or go through a scan. I don't know. Maybe they'll contact me, hopefully. As far as I know the PSA fell, according to the email they send me, from 9.94 to 5.8. So that's encouraging. We'll see, because I took a blood test with a regular doctor. So I hope it works. So if not, they're going to try another medication. I hope not. Okay. One last thing, before I get started. There was a death last week, someone famous that you may not know right away. Her name was Susan Bacalini. I think that's her name. She was an actress and stunt woman. She was famous for playing Chrissy Watkins as the first shark victim in Steven Spielberg's 1975 film Jaws. And that scene in that movie was a classic. It really was a classic. And I first saw the movie at Fort City Cinema in 1975 during the summer with a bunch of kids. My mom went with me. And I said, why not? I went to see it. You know what? When I saw that scene at the theater, I said this many times, it scared me to death. I was so traumatized. For the rest of the movie, I closed my eyes and I just put my head down. I couldn't watch it. I looked up when people were talking. That was fine. But when they were, what was funny? When they were at the ocean, going to the ocean, then I just closed my eyes. Or, they were on a boat. I couldn't watch it. It was scary. And I refuse to watch this movie to this day. I just can't. I really can't. And she was famous for that role. Okay. So, and then, so anyway, she, she was in other movies. She also did the 1941 movie in 1979 that parodied her role. And she was like on a submarine. She was on a periscope. It was hilarious, so like that. And she appeared in other movies, like The Day of the Animals, 2 Minute Warning. She didn't talk much, and and then she passed away on May 11th, 2024. She was 77 years old. Oh, I didn't know she was that old. Oh, my God. So she was in the most iconic scenes in cinema history. Like that, and you can't forget it. You can't. No, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Some people tell me, I don't know if it's in the book. I never read the book by Peter Benchley. I think that's his name. Probably. And but my condolences to the family. Yeah, that's too bad. Okay, let's get started. So. We're going to start with the 60th anniversary of Another World. And this was a soap opera that was very popular back in the day. And I'll give you a history of that. It premiered on NBC, WMAQ TV, Channel 5 in Chicago, and on May 4th, 1964. And it was set in a fictional town, Bay City. I don't know, Michigan, I guess. I don't know what state. And it was groundbreaking at the time. It was, I think it was the first soap opera that went into an hour, like most soap operas. There's one that's still a half hour. That's Bold and the Beautiful. But the rest are an hour, like, for example, General Hospital and Days of Our Lives. And so my memories, I watched it a few times, this was my mother's favorite soap opera. She watches Days of Our Lives now. She loves that. She's been watching since the 70s. But she loved this one better. She loved the characters. She loved the plots. And, and it was great. And she remembered the characters that were famous. Like there was Rachel, there was Mac, and there was Ada. I think that was her mom. And I think, and Ada was my favorite character. She was hilarious. She was tough. Yeah, she was tough. And then, and it was sponsored by Procter & Gamble. Of course, like that. And it had 2 spin-off soaps, Somerset and Texas. My mom watched Texas. She did that. They had the famous theme song, and then they recorded another theme song that started from 1987 all the way till it got canceled. And You Take Me Away, and it was performed by Crystal Gale, Loretta Lynn's sister, and Gary Morris. He was a country singer. And that was pretty good. And, but, the first one was kind of sad. It's like, And then, it went off the air on... let's see, I keep forgetting. June 25th, 1999, and it was replaced by Passions. Remember that soap opera? The one with the witch and the talking doll? Like that. So, that was sad, like that. Okay. So, that was a great show. And they just celebrated their 60th anniversary. I heard they have a Facebook group. And I think some of the actors participate in this group. And they had a reunion recently with some of the actors. I think somewhere in New York. And that was great. So a lot of people want it back. They want the soap opera back. They had some famous celebrities. I'll read them off as soon as I remember. They had, for example, Kelsey Grammer was there. Anne Hayes, she played the twins. Marley Hudson, Vicky Hudson. Let's see. Peter Brady on the Brady Bunch, he played a role. Eric LaSalle from ER, let's see. The one that played Liz Matthews, one from the Matthews family, from the clan, that was by Audra Lindley, Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. Lindsay Lohan played a role in there. Yeah, I didn't know that. Rue McCallaghan, Blanche Devereaux from Golden Girls, she was in it. Brad Pitt, Ed O'Neill from Married with Children, Deborah Missing from Will and Grace, Julia McMahon, and from what's that called? Nick Pentuck. Luke Perry was in there too from 90210. Yeah, that was great. Ving Rhames, like that. Let's see who else. What a cast! What a cast indeed. Yeah, that's great. Like that. Okay. Well, anyway. So right now I'm going to play the theme song of Another World. It's from, just a moment, from 1976. And then I'll play the theme song, and then I'll come back and I will get started on the rest of the subjects. Okay? Thank you, everyone.
And now, for the next 60 minutes, the continuing story of Another World. The first part of Another World is brought to you by Lilt, the only one with gripper sponges, the easier way to beautiful hair.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the introduction of Another World. This is the daytime soap opera, and this is from 1976. Like I said before, people still miss this daytime soap. And it was a classic. It really was. So it aired in the afternoon. Yeah, it aired in the afternoon. For example, around our time, 2:00. From 2:00 to 2:30, then they moved it to 3 to then they expanded to an hour for 4 hours. No, not 4 hours, 1 hour, excuse me. From that started from 1975 all the way to 1979, and then they experimented a 90-minute one, and that lasted about a few months, from March 5th, 1979 to August 1st, 1980. So that lasted about over a year and a half. And then it went back to an hour, at 1:00 in the afternoon, 1 to 2, from August 4th to 1980 to the day it was canceled, the last air date, June 25th, 1999. So that's about 60 years it started. My God. And then they just announced, CBS announced they're going to have a new soap opera called The Gates coming soon. They're going to replace The Talk, the talk show. It's going to be on WBBM TV Channel 2. And it's an African-American soap opera. And we haven't had a new soap opera in ages. So that's good news. That's good. People are tired of talk shows. Game shows are okay, but talk shows, we live in a depressing world today. We need some escapism. We need some entertainment. Thank God for Days of Our Lives, Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital. Days of Our Lives is on Peacock. I wish it would come back to Channel 5. My mom hates that to this day. I have to help her turn it on to show it, so I have to watch it with her, which is fine. So because it was easier. So, but the good news is there's no commercials and there's no preemptions, like that. So you can watch it in full length, anytime of the day. So that's great. All right. Next up, I'm going to talk about the 60th anniversary of the grand opening of the Zayre store on West Columbus Avenue on the southwest side of Chicago. Now, why you ask why I chose this? It's because I had great memories of that store. When we moved from Roseland to Ashburn neighborhood in Chicago in September 1974, I think somebody, me or my mom or somebody in the neighborhood asked, they heard about Zayre, and they asked, where's the Zayre store? They said it's on Columbus Avenue. Oh, okay. So it's Southwest Highway, like that. So my mom went there, and I went there. A lot of people went there, and it was a big store, very popular. They had everything you want. It's just like Kmart. It was like Target, Walmart. Zayre started like about in the 60s, maybe earlier than that. And they started opening their stores probably in the early 60s, like that. And let's see. So, and there were 6 stores before that opened, the one on Columbus Avenue. My memories of that, it was, I tried to apply for a job there in high school. I didn't get it, but remember the red, white signs like that. And next door to that store was Wiseway. It was a grocery store that opened the same time. And I found an ad of it. I'm going to post it later on today. Thank God for that. And there was like a liquor store and some lamp store or something like that. But on the left side of Zayre was the double drive-in theater, excuse me. And that opened in early 1950. Yeah. It opened a long time ago over there. And we went there too as well. But I'll talk about that theater another time. And that's their store. I think it was still there until the late 80s, and then it closed. And then all the Zayre stores closed. So then they turned into Ames, and they opened a few Ames stores. Some lasted about a year, and then a couple of years. It was the same thing like that. But a lot of people to this day still remember Zayre. They love that store. They really did, and especially Christmas time. They had a lot of toys and school supplies, for September. In September, that is, That's what I think I did that when we went for school supplies. We went elsewhere, but mostly went for that. And those commercials they showed all the time. So that's unfortunate, but we still have discount stores. Zayre was a discount store. We had Target, Walmart. Thank God for that. If I choose between Walmart and Target I like, but sometimes you can't find things in Walmart, you go to Target. And sometimes you can't find things in Target, you go to Walmart. And if you can't find anything, you go elsewhere, maybe Costco. Or Walgreens, or any place like that. The dollar store, you can do that. But Zayre, that's classic. It was a classic. Mm-hmm. Okay. So right now I'm going to play a commercial for Zayre. And that's from, just a moment, please. Yeah, from 1979. And it's got that famous thing. It's got that famous things theme song. So I think it's Take Another Look. It could be that one. I forgot. So when I come back, I'll talk about news reporter Rick. I forgot his name. Excuse me. His name is Rick Sallinger. And once I do that, I'll wrap up the show. Okay. So here's a commercial from 1979, Zayre discount stores. Thank you, everyone.
Come look at the latest looks for fall.
Take another look, take another look, take another look at Zayre.
Look at tops, the colors, the fabrics, the styles.
Take another look at all the fashion Zayre.
Look at skirts. Look, look, look.
Take another look at Zayre. Take another look, compare. Take another look at all the values there.
Zayre has changed. There's so much to look at.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial from 1979 for Zayre. I was right. It was take another look, take another look, take another look at Zayre. Can't get that out of my head. Okay, all right. So right now I'm going to talk briefly about news reporter Rick Sallinger. He passed away recently. Let me pick up his volume. Yeah, he passed away on May 8th, 2024. You may have seen him on TV. I think he was, on national news, but he was from Chicago. And before he was on CBS, he was a news reporter. He was in Chicago on WMAQ TV, Channel 5. And I think he started maybe in the mid-'80s and lasted until 1990. And then he moved to, first he worked, but he was on the radio in Cleveland. And then he worked in Indianapolis, Denver, and Chicago. And then in 1990, he became a foreign war correspondent for CNN. And he covered events like the Gulf War, the War of Yugoslavia, the reunification of Germany. Boy, he was a busy guy. He traveled all over the place. And he was there for about 3 years. But first he worked then he worked in Chicago. Then I think that's what happened. I think he was on Channel 2. Then he moved to CNN, I believed. Yeah. I don't know if he was on CBS News. I'm not sure. Then he just got a job in Denver, and he started in 1993. And he worked there for 30 years. He worked there for 30 years, and he retired December 2023. And while he was there in Colorado, he covered those big stories like the Columbine Massacre. That's a terrible thing. And the murder of John Benet Ramsey, and he was there. And so when I saw him on the internet that he passed away, that was so sad, And I go, I remember this guy. I remember him in Chicago, and I found a picture of him and I posted it. And he was very good, good reporter. He still I think he has family still here in Chicago, I believe. I don't know. But, his family in Denver. So that's a shame. That really is, So, my condolences to the family. So that's too bad. So another Chicago reporter passed away. Before I wrap up, I want to mention one thing. There was a TV reporter from Los Angeles. His name was Sam Rubin. He passed away recently, and it was unexpectedly of a heart attack. And he did reports sometimes with WGN Morning News, and a lot of people were close to him. And I saw they had a clip of his son talking about his father. That was sad. Oh my God, it was heartbreaking. I know how to feel to lose a father, because I lost mine January 2006. That's terrible. Such a young man like that. And I remember watching him, Sam Rubin, that is, before I went to work at American Express Travel, and he did the Hollywood, reports, what's going on over there. Sometimes he visits Chicago. He did that. I always see his name like that. But the staff at WGN still were close to him and all that, and it was devastating. So my condolences to the family. Like that. Okay. So that's it for today. I'll do a wrap up of, not a wrap up, a recap of what I talked about today. I talked about the 60th anniversary of the daytime soap opera Another World. Also the 60th anniversary of the Zayre store that was located on West Columbus Avenue in Chicago's southwest side. Also news reporter Rick Sallinger. Okay. Just forgive me. I'm doing something new with this podcast. They're doing something new. I'm just a little rusty. That's why I didn't do it Sunday. I had a few glitches and it takes me forever. I'm too slow, so I'll do what I can to put it together today, and it will be posted later on today, wherever podcasts are found. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Breaker, Overcast, Spotify. It'll be there. Also be posted on my blog at chicagoland.blog. Also on my YouTube channel. Again, people still ask me, where do I find your podcast? Where do I find your podcast? Go to YouTube. Type in Vanishing Chicago Event Stories or type in my name. You'll find the podcast and then click subscribe. On the apps I mentioned, click follow. You'll get a notification of the latest podcasts, or you can listen to previous ones if you have time. Also, it'll be posted on my social media accounts, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, Threads, Blue Sky, what else? And TikTok and Instagram. Okay. So, that's the end of the show. This is Speaker Stein, your host for Vanishing Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Everyone have a great day. Thank you for joining me. I'll have another podcast episode this weekend, hopefully. I think so. And today's weather is chilly. Bundled up. It's May, like that. So here's bye-bye for me, and here's Ray Rayner with a little traveling music saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.